Hey everybody, good afternoon and welcome back to Mad Horse Barbecue. My name is Brian yet again, and in today's video we're going to be firing up my 18-inch Wilbur Smoky Mountain, and we're going to be using the hanger kit made by Pit Barrel Cooker, and we're going to be hanging 3 racks of St. Louis style ribs. At least I think it's a 3-pack. It might be a 2-pack. Excuse me, I just burped there, but I'm pretty sure it's a 3-pack. We're going to hang ribs in the Wilbur Smoky Mountain, using some Blues Hog lump charcoal. I'm going to throw a chunk of cherry, chunk of hickory on there. And, in this video, I'm going to go over everything. Now, the St. Louis style cut ribs already come cut somewhat St. Louis style ribs. I'm going to trim them up to probably all about 9-bone racks, just because the more you kind of take off, the further away it'll be from the coals. And some of them end bones, a lot of the times when you get the pre-cut St. Louis style rack or St. Louis style ribs from the store, they're kind of sloppy and they're kind of ugly anyways. So like I said, we're going to go over everything from trimming the ribs, seasoning the ribs, starting to grill up, and then, I'll go over a little bit on maintaining a temp on here. But if you ever had questions about how to maintain temp on here, I do have a video on how to control temps on a drum smoker. I'll link that in one of these corners here. It's the same concept. You have your intakes on the bottom, you have your exhaust on top. When I run my Weber Smoky Mountain, especially the 18-inch, that exhaust on top always stays open, and I control temp with the bottom vents. So now, without further ado, let's take you over to the ribs first. We'll get them trimmed up a little bit more, and we'll get them seasoned up, and we'll go from there. All right, you can see I got 2 of the racks trimmed down already. I'm going to show you how I made these racks out of this, because this is typically when you buy St. Louis style cut ribs. They kind of come like this, and you know what? If you want to cook it just like that, you absolutely can. I'm just not gonna, because, well, I don't want to. They're my ribs, for one. And for two, when you're cooking and you're hanging meat, obviously the shorter you can make it and the farther you can get it off the coals, it'll probably prevent the last couple rib bones from kind of getting maybe a little burnt up. So I'm going to do 10 bone racks. Move these off to the side for now. The way I'm going to do this is, you got this one end here, and there's always usually a bone poking out, and I don't know, you want to call that a shiner, you want to call it what, but I always like to just flip it right on its end. I like to take the first bone off, and just try to make this as straight as you can. Then when I take that bone off, I try to leave like half the meat on that side of the bone that's left there, if that makes any sense. And then all I'm going to do, I'm just going to count in 10 bones. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm just going to take my knife, and the rib bones, as they get farther down this way on the rack, they get shorter and shorter, and they also tend to get maybe a little more crooked. And also up here, you're dealing with cartilage. So when you make this cut, for one, make sure you're not cutting through this last rib bone. And then for two, if it's a little hard towards the top, it's because you're going through cartilage, and that's completely normal. So I'm just going to take my knife, cut right through. That's the Dalstrong Quantum Series. I'll include a link of this. I won this on a giveaway over at Ash Kickin's channel. I love this knife. I pretty much use it for everything. And, when it comes to, trimming up St. Louis style ribs, and you got the potential to, to go through some cartilage, you want a decent knife. And this one's awesome. So then I kind of like to flip it over, and I'm going to clean up maybe just a little bit. These aren't really... If I were hand picking ribs in a store, I probably wouldn't pick this just because of all that excess fat that's left there. It's not a lot of hard fat, but to me, it's not super good tasting when there's that much of it. You can see this rack here, barely any of it on there. There was some just on the end there that I was able to clean up. This one here's got really good, the fat's like kind of intertwined with the meat. This one here, it's all surface stuff. So I'm just gonna clean it up just a little bit. Not that I have to, but I'm gonna. I think I'm going to call that good, actually. And then what I'm going to do is kind of just clean this up. There's just a little bit of meat hanging off there, so I'm going to kind of make an imaginary line. This is the bone side right here. This is the cartilage side here. These bones, you probably aren't going to cut through it with a knife. You can, it's just super difficult. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of make an imaginary line starting here, going this way, and get them straight, or straighter. And that should work out fine for me, because remember, if I were cooking these, I'd scrunch them together and make them straight, and then, they'd cook how you had them. But I'm going to be hanging them, so they're going to hang, not super straight. So then the last thing to do is just get the silver skin off. And the easiest way for me to do that is just take a piece of paper towel. I like to kind of work up one end, stick my thumb underneath it, and get that whole, another paper towel. Oh, just get out of here, guy. There. work it all the way down the first length of the bone, and then once you got a nice tab to pull on, I just take the paper towel, whoops, get the rest of it, make it easier. There. Now once I got the length of that first bone, take the paper towel and just pull it. It should come off. If it doesn't, you can go back and get anything you didn't get. There's a little bit of hard fat here that I'm just going to clean up as well. Okay, that's going to be good. Now we got all the ribs trimmed up. We're going to put them all on the cutting board. The thicker side facing up. Thicker meaning the bones are bigger on one end than they are on the other, so I want the bones that are the bigger bones facing up because I'm going to put the hook through them on the thicker side. Okay, and then once they're like that, I'm gonna go ahead and put a coat of rub on the back. No binder today. These are plenty wet yet. Then the binder, and the rub we're gonna use is the Blues Hog Sweet and Savory. All right, now since the back side's all coated, I'm gonna use the pit barrel cooker hook, and we're gonna go 2 bones down. So there's 1 bone, 2 bone, go right through the middle. Once you got the hook through, go ahead, place it meat side up. 2 bones, like I said, first bone, second bone. This is going to go right in the middle between the second and third bone. And 1 more. 1 bone, 2 bone, right in the middle of the second, third. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and apply rub on the front sides of these. Okay, let's give them a pat. I'm going to get the edges just a little bit. Okay, and now these are going to sit out until the grill's up to temp. So let's go ahead and get the grill going. All right, go ahead. Get this thing taken apart a little bit first. Charcoal we're going to be using today is the Blues Hog Lump. All right, we're just going to put a wax cube right in the back side there. And the idea behind that is the way I'm going to run this today is I'm going to try to run it with this front vent open right here and then 2 back vents open just a crack. And by open, I mean all the way open, and then I'm going to leave that top vent all the way open. So I'm hoping it'll draw straight across. It'll burn from back to front. You'll notice me starting the lump with just a wax cube. If you've watched my Weber Smoky Mountain video on how I did St. Louis style ribs, I put out 6 months ago or so. You know, I use briquettes and I use a chimney starter with briquettes. And I did say in that video that I do start lump a different way. This is how I start lump in my drums and in the Weber Smoky Mountain, just because lump gets going a lot faster than briquettes do, in my opinion. So it doesn't take a chimney full of lump to get going, just a wax cube, and then you want to bring it up slow. So now that it's going, I'm going to go ahead and take the grill. Put it, or the rest of the grill, put it right up top. Open this up. Oh, I got some stuff in there I don't need. Get my grill grates out, obviously. Get the water pan out, obviously. And I'll let that burn for 10 minutes. All right, we've been burning for about 10 minutes. I'll just give you a shot at the cold bed here quick. You can see how small it is. To me, when you're burning lump in a WSM, things can get out of hand relatively quick, in my opinion. The 18 inch is a lot more easier to manage with lump than the 22 inches. Also very opinionated, in my opinion. I have both cookers. I've experimented with both. It's just my thoughts. But I like starting fires small on WSMs, just like I do on my gateways, and bringing that fire up. So I'm going to go ahead and close this thing down. And for now, I'm going to leave all 4 of the vents open, so all 3 of the bottom vents are open. The top vent is open. And I'm monitoring temps with my ThermalWorks Smoke X4. And once it hits about 275, I'm going to close the 2 back vents pretty much all the way. And then that front bottom vent, I'm going to leave wide open. So when we're putting these ribs on, we will be picking back up. All right, this thing's settled in right about that 275 range right now. So what I went ahead and did is I closed the 2 back vents just to about a sliver open. And then this bottom vent, as you can see, is wide open. And the top vent is wide open. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is get the ribs on. Let's go ahead and open it up. And what I do have here is I have 1 little chunk of hickory, 1 little chunk of cherry. I'm going to put it right over the coals, right over the lit coals, just to get some smoke going right away. 2 and 3. Go ahead and close it down. Okay, we'll let these go for about an hour, and I will pick back up. 1 hour in, been running anywhere in between like 280 and 300 a whole cook, which is perfectly fine. The method that I wanted to do with the 2 back vents, barely open, and the front one, and the front one wide open, is working out phenomenally. Let's just go ahead and take a peek at the ribs. Oh yeah, some nice color. So really, pretty much the way I'm going to check if these are done when they're getting close, I'm just going to grab the little hook tool, pull it out. I'm just going to just check for tenderness, which they're not going to be anywhere close to done now, but anyways, that's all I'm going to check it. So these are going to go back on for another hour before I check into it again. So when I check into it, we'll pick back up. All right, we're 3 hours in. These ribs are ready to sauce right now. Go ahead and take a peek at them. You can see you got some really nice pullback, or we're getting some really nice pullback on them bones. Nice color on the ribs. It passes the tenderness test, and by tenderness test I mean I just took my ThermalWorks, put it in, and went in like butter. So we're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna give these a light coat of sauce. Let that sauce set for just probably 2 or 3 minutes. And the sauce we're gonna use is the Blues Hogs Raspberry Chipotle. So just go ahead and sauce them up. You could put these on a tray, but I don't want to do dishes, so just have to deal with the flare-ups. Be about good for the sauce, so I'm going to go ahead and close it back down. Let that sauce set just for about 2-3 minutes. Let these things rest, and we'll be picking back up when we're biting into them. All right, we are back, and it's time to eat real quick over the cook times. 300 for about 3 hours, and then sauce them and let them go on for another 2 to 3 minutes, I suppose. You know, a lot of the times, you see people set sauce for like, for like 30 minutes or 40 minutes. But when you're cooking at 300 and you're cooking right over coals, you don't want to set sauce for that long because it can burn. So that's why you only do it for a couple minutes, because just at 300, it doesn't take that long to set the sauce. No internal temps on these. Basically just did them till they're toothpick tender. If anything, I think these are going to be a bit under. But, reheated they'll eat just fine, and they'll still eat just fine tonight. So let's go ahead and cut into these and see how we did. Go ahead and take one right from the middle here. Yeah, looking, there we go. Looking pretty good. Bring it in for a taste test. All right, go ahead and give one of these a try. That's a pretty clean looking bite. You can bite on the meat, it stays on the bone. First off, cooking over a lump, and then, one little chunk of hickory and one little chunk of cherry. Really gives these things some good flavor. And then just keeping it simple, just one rub, Blues Hog, sweet and savory, very good rub on pork. And then the Blues Hog Raspberry Chipotle. Again, if you hadn't tried, I don't know if I said rub, but if you hadn't tried the Blues Hog Raspberry Chipotle sauce yet, I highly encourage you to do it. Because it is just, you've heard me talk about it before, but until you try it, you are really missing out. So at least try it once, and then if I was wrong, let me know I was wrong, but I'll guarantee you'll like it. But yeah, these are absolutely fantastic. Sometimes it's fun just to, throw them up and hang them the whole time, and not even wrap them. It's quite a bit easier. It's less steps involved, and you still get, somewhat of the same results. So, well, besides that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I hope this video was helpful, and hope you guys and girls have I'm struggling here with words, but hope you guys and girls have a good day. See you next time.